Hi everybody, I just wanted to make a quick video showing what internal grounding is on a turntable. A lot of people have questions about what it is or what it does, so I thought I'd make a quick little sort of tutorial as to what it is and what it entails to do. And this works for any turntable. I happen to be working on a Technics 1200 right now, and I've actually already done the modification, but I'm actually going to undo my work so you can see how it goes. So here we go. I'm going to take it apart and I'm going to show you what internal grounding looks like. Now the whole entire point of internal grounding, it doesn't really change the characteristics of the table sound quality very much. All it sort of does in the case of a Technics 1200 at least, is that it ups the reliability because a lot of people are DJing with these and they're moving around, and that flimsy little ground wire sort of looks like this. This is your standard kind of 22 gauge wire. It's pretty thin, and load these things out for a period of 20 years. A lot of these tables that I work on, they're 20 years old or 30 years old, so this wire gets brittle and it breaks, or it starts to break, and so instead of having 20 strands of wire making your ground connection, you have 2 or you have 1, or sometimes you have none, and then you get hum, and that makes programs like Serato or Tractor or any of those other kind of ones not track well because the signal is not very good. Obviously, also you have hum going on, so that's not desirable as well. So what I'm going to show you is what internal grounding kind of looks like, what it means, and what it sort of entails to do it. So I've already installed a new RCA cable here, but I'm actually going to take it off right now so I can show you what is going on underneath. Now, all that internal grounding really is, on any turntable, what you have is the tone arm itself. If it's metal, sometimes it's not, but the tone arm is typically grounded. And if you look at these wires here, you have, let me zoom in a little bit here. You have blue, white, red, green, and then you have a black. Now black is sort of the universal color for the tone arm itself. And then the tone arm will ground. In this case, they put it on a little lug here. And then you have the secondary wire that comes off of the lug. So this is this is going and wiring to the table itself. And then also you have the second wire. And this is what usually comes out through your base plate and goes out and hooks up to the back of your DJ mixer, or in the case if you're using this for listening, it'd be hook up to the ground connection on the back of your receiver or stereo or whatever you have. So what internal grounding does is this blue wire. So what we have here is we have the left signal, because we're talking about stereo. So we have the left side. We have the white is for our left channel signal, and then the blue is for our left channel's ground connection. And then we have the right channel, we have red, which is always good to remember. Red is right, R and R. And then green is its ground connection. So what we're actually doing is, instead of having this wire come out of the table and connect, we're actually going to connect this wire, which is grounded to the table and to the tone arm, and what that'll do is ground the tone arm through the ground connections on the RCAs for our left and right signals. Because what you have on any RCA cable is you have the pin is our signal. So in this case, this is our left signal and right. And then on the shell, that's our ground. So we have left ground, right ground. A lot of people like to take this wire and just attach it to one side. That works just fine. But typically what I do with these, because I do them so often, is I just strip this wire back. So you can see it's only about, instead of being long, it's only about 2.5 inches long or so. So I strip it back about 3/4 of an inch, and then we have our ground connections, left side, right side, and then these are our signal, left and right. So I take and strap this across our ground connections here and here. Now our table's internally grounded. That's all there really is to it. Because now the tone arm ground is grounding into our DJ mixer or our receiver or stereo through the RCA shells, and it eliminates the need for this little thin wire. You don't need it anymore. It goes through the shells, and then what that does is it kind of ups your reliability, because now you don't have that thin wire hanging out in the air. And you can actually do this on any turntable. It's not just a Technics 1200 specific thing. I do this on other, anytime I need to replace RCA cables on a table, I always do internal grounding. Because, I mean, there's not really any big reason to do it, but it's sort of one of those things is, while you're in there, if you're replacing the cables anyway, why not just internally ground it and just make it that much better? So there's really no need to have that separate ground wire. You can actually ground through the RCA shells, and you're not hurting anything by doing that. You're not losing anything. You're actually making the turntable be more reliable and have less, hum in the signal, which, equates to better audio output. So I'm just going to put these RCAs back on real quick. So now you can kind of get a sense of what it all looks like. You have the shield that runs through this wire and goes to our RCA shells here. Right here. That's right here. So our internal ground wire is running underneath it. This is the tone arm wire, which is connected to this lug here. That's all there is to it. You can do this on any table. It's always something that I do on these, especially because most people are using the 1200s for DJing still. And that combined with this cable that I like to use makes programs like Serato and Tractor and all those kind of vinyl, I guess, replacement software, if you would call it that. You have a control record. It puts out a very strong signal, and combined with a higher output DJ cartridge, which is what most people are using, that makes for a very reliable setup that tracks well, sounds good, and gets the job done. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching.